How's it going, guys? It is me, the mighty Sucram. I am exhausted. Too much partying last night. We'll get to that reason why, but Gil wants to show us something real quick.
Yeah, I know this is a Caps podcast, but what the fuck is going on with the Avs?
That's a good question. They just didn't come to play in Game 5.
But all right, so I mean, I know you've been knocking him. So quick impression. Who am I?
Marchman?
No, Jared Bednar.
Oh, Jared Ben. No way. No, fuck you. That's fantastic.
This is Jared Bednar after his team scores.
It's Jared Bednar after he gets scored on.
This is Jared Bednar after Nathan McKinnon scores. This is Jared Bednar after Cale Makar scores.
My God.
You get the idea.
I don't know.
I want to get that out of the way.
I have a feeling they're going to win tonight, though. I have a feeling they're going to force Game 7.
Too.
I feel like the only game the series that's going to end tonight is LA Edmonton. I just don't think the Kings are done. Kings are done. All right, Gil. Was that what you wanted to show us?
Yeah.
All right. Let me stop sharing so you can get me back on the big screen. All right, Gil. We got some playoff to talk about. Even Hershey, what a opener for Hershey. Hunter Shepard, after all that shitting that the fans were talking about him, turns around and pulls up a shutout for Game 1 of the AHL playoffs. Oh, Bears are now, 14 more wins away from three-peating? I believe Spokane won last night, so now they're 1 win away. They play again tonight. If they win tonight, they move on, and they play the Medicine Hat, who already have swept their opponents. Which is no shocker, because leading the charge is the number 1 overall pick next year. Not this year, next year's number 1 overall pick prospect. Potentially future fucking Penguin, Gavin McKenna. Kid is killing it. Gil, what do you want to talk about today?
Caps closing out the series.
Oh, did that happen? Did the Caps win? Did that happen? I thought, according to Montreal fans, it's just like 2010 and we were going to blow a 3-1 lead.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. I got to give props. Dobis took a lot of heat from us last night. And I will say, majority of it was from me. I will take full blame from Caps fans. I started a chain of Dobis chants. I also started a chain of we want Nuggets, but that's here and there and then. I even started the little, if you watch the guy on YouTube and stuff, and TikTok, Trippy Chirps, who messes with baseball players, hockey players, NASCAR drivers, he makes chirps, and then he either says you stutter, you bum at the end, and I made a reference and I said Dobis only eats peanut butter on PB&J, you bum. I had Lindsay, one of our friends next to us. She was crying. Like, me and the couple guys next to me were just fucking making joke after joke after joke. It was great. I even started singing the Montreal song, but I sung it the right way. Ale, 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 fuck Montreal. Montreal, gotta give them respect. The Habs have a hell of a team. They're going to be very good in a couple of years. They're going to be they're ahead of schedule. I'm still recuperating from that amazing Game 5 last night. Gil, who won that Game 5?
Oh, some team in red.
Wait, they're both in red.
Uh, the good team in red.
Final
Who
score.
won?
Final score. Hold on. Final score. Then I'll let you talk. 4 good guys. Toilet seats. 1. I'm sorry. Did I say toilet? I meant toilet seat.
Toilet. Toilet.
All right, Gil, go ahead.
Mettez les fouillés on the toilette.
Did you see that what the Caps did on Twitter? They posted
No.
Caps in 5 in French. Like they did they had a photo of a translator that said translate this in French, and he's like, "Don't worry, we got you, Caps in 5." And then above that post was au revoir from the Caps. All right, Gil, you want to get into this? Want to get into this real quick?
Yeah,
We
yeah,
can go ahead
yeah,
and get into
yeah,
this,
yeah.
and then we can preview the next series,
Yeah.
which is going to be a very good one. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah. Captain started off the scoring when they got in the
Hold
power
on.
play.
Hold on. Let me pull it up first. Hold on.
All right, all right.
I gotta find it. Where the fuck is it? No, that's the scoreboard. Did I delete it? I think I deleted it. Oh shit. No, background 2.0. Oh no, that's the background. No, that's not what I want. No, that's that. We don't got it. Well, fuck it. I'll make a new one. Oh, you know what? Because we have this, I'll share screen it. You won't see it, but they will see it. That's right. I forgot to do. I'm doing that now. That's why I got rid of it. All right. So we'll share screen it here. Here we go. Here we go. Let it snow. Dak Prescott's in our fucking live stream, or in our stream today.
Don't eat it when it's yellow.
All right, let's get into it. Capitals. Where are we at? Here we go. Let's just do Washington Capitals schedule. Here we go. All right. Gil, you might not be able to see it, but I'm going to make sure you can see it. Hold on. Let me also share it for you. Here you go, Gil. Boom. There we go. Can you see that?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Currently, there is no games scheduled for this month. We find that hard to believe. But all right, here we go. Let's get into it, Gil. Let's start it off. This did not start off good for the Capitals. Let's be real. First 5 minutes in, the shots were 8-1. But then the Capitals take a stupid penalty. Then Bumkowski, I can't say that. He's pretty good. Slavkovsky slaps the shit out of Duhaine's stick, breaks it in half. Capitals go on the power play. And by the way, this was right after a very blatantly missed call that should have been called in that first period. The Caps should have been on 5-on-3. Capitals, it's 4-on-4, back and forth, and then finally the Capitals, when they get the power play off the draw. Gil,
Yo.
you want to care to say who scored?
And as Mr. Joseph Beninati said right on cue, because he had just happened to say, well, this looks like a formation where it's going to be off the draw. And maybe 1.1 seconds after he said that, draw was won. Back to Ovechkin. A blast from the circle. Puck in back of net. 1-0 Washington Capitals.
Or like John Walton would say, 1-0 Washington.
Washington.
We exploded when he scored. I have some pictures here and there. I have the pictures of the handshake line. I posted it on the YouTube, uh, in the community chat. This was awesome. This game. But let's get into it. Like, not even like this was the Capitals' second shot on net too. This is their second shot on net, and they're back in the net. Capitals would score 2 minutes later off a terrible turnover. Which at the middle of the center ice, terrible turnover center ice. Caulfield lost his man. Chikrin sneaks in behind, and Dubois with a pass of the century finds Jacob Chikrin back in the net, 2-0. Place is going nuts. This would be the goal scoring until late in the second period, but that second period felt like it was all Capitals. Like Montreal barely had ice time in that second period. We outshot them. It was only 9-6, but it felt like Capitals weren't hitting the net. The Capitals had way more shot attempts in that period. It was all high, and almost all of their 9 shots were high danger. But let's talk about how in the right after that, McMichael almost made it 3-0, and Dobesh robbed him, twice. He robbed him in freaking what was it? Game 3, or game 4. I think he robbed him.
Game 4.
He robbed him the similar way that he robbed him here, which is why I want to give a shout out to Dobesh to come in as a backup rookie that has never played an NHL playoff game and is only playing a certain amount of games this year for Montreal. He did relatively well for them. Second period, power play for Montreal. We kill it off. No, actually, no power play. The 2 power plays I believe were in the first period. We killed them both off. No power play after that for Montreal. Capitals get 2 power plays. The first power play gets killed off. The second power play, not so much. Carlson finally does fucking something. Carlson passes it up in front, and Tom Wilson bangs it in for the rebound. The guy that Offsides podcast said it would be irrelevant and a non-factor in Game 5. He has 2 points in this game already. You can go fuck yourself, bud.
Who is this?
The fucking Washington Loyal fan group posted on Facebook that this guy was making, like he said in Game 4, the Habs were going to destroy the Capitals. He said in Game 5, Tom Wilson was going to be a non-factor. He was wrong on both occasions.
I'll find this fucker.
Just look up Washington Loyal fans on Facebook. I think it's Offsides Podcast. I think that's what it is. Or Offline.
The fucking dumbass name for a podcast.
Oh, I mean, our podcast is Caps Off Their Chain, so. What the fuck do I know?
No, it's like copying off of us.
Yeah. All right. Third period happens. I texted you right this before, too. I said, Gil, we're a perfect 20 minutes away from moving on and playing those bunch of fucking jerks. We'll get into those bunch of queers in a minute. The Canadians came out and I expected this. Canadians came out like their season was on the line. They weren't going to go down without a fight. 2 minutes and 40 seconds in, a tip in from Emilio Heineman makes it 3-1. It's like, okay, all right, we got a more of an interesting game. The Capitals kind of sat back after that, but halfway through they were still getting the puck out of the zone. They were getting their chances. They just looked like they were holding on for a little bit. But that was also on the 10th. The fact fucking Montreal was facing elimination, and they were 20 minutes, probably like 15 to actually I think at this time it was like 10 minutes, 10 minutes away from being eliminated. The Capitals hold on, empty net. We're chanting, pull the goalie. We're chanting, pull the goalie, pull the goalie, pull the goalie. He finally pulls the goalie. They get a huge chance, but Logan robs Suzuki. And Suzuki's looking up in the sky like, what the fuck do I have to do to beat this guy? And then, I think like a minute later, Duhane on a breakaway. Nuggets! Right, Cheryl? Nuggets! She's eating her nuggets right now. Empty net goal. Capitals win 4-1. Our first playoff series win since... Gil? When was the last time we won a playoff series?
2018.
What happened that year?
They won the cup.
A coincidence? I think not. Huge. What, Cheryl? Oh. Huge win. Like, they needed a series like this. We're playing a Carolina team next round, which is not going to be as I'm not going to say easy. Montreal was pretty hard. I do think they match up well. They match up way more well against Carolina than they do Montreal. Carolina doesn't have speed. Montreal has speed. Carolina relies too much on defense. Montreal relies too much on offense. So, and I'm going to say right now, if New Jersey had Jack Hughes, they had Jonas Siegenthaler, they had Luke Hughes, they had Dougie Hamilton, they had all these players fully healthy, I don't think Carolina wins that series. I don't. It took Carolina double overtime, and they had to score 5 goals on New Jersey. That doesn't impress me. It doesn't impress me at all. But Gil, you're happy. I'm happy. We're moving on to the second round. We can finally get that monkey off our back that we can't win in the first round anymore. Uh, do you think this is going to boost the team on getting past Carolina?
I think it will, but flip side of that same coin, I think we haven't seen Carolina at their best yet, and we're
No.
about to.
I, I don't know if we're going
I
to.
I think they're gonna pull something now. Uh, Kochetkov does not scare me
No.
as much as Anderson did.
Anderson doesn't scare me either because we played Anderson before when he was at his peak with Toronto, and we beat him in 6. So, I mean, we have success against Anderson. Like I said,
No,
I'm not. I think. Don't get me wrong. I don't think we're gonna sweep Carolina. I don't think we're gonna win in 5.
no,
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 this is a
no,
6,
no.
a best. This is going 6 or 7. But I think we get revenge. We are on a revenge tour right now. We just got a revenge for 2010. It's time to get a revenge for 2019.
Yes.
Last 2019, we failed to win Game 6. I think this time we're gonna win Game 6. We're gonna eliminate Carolina in 6. I just think this Capitals team is too good to not make it to the third round. The third round's a different story. But right now, this team is just too good to lose in the second round. Carolina's a great team. Brendan Moore is a great coach. He's a fucking douchebag, but he's a great coach. I just don't think that Carolina has the depth to beat us. I don't. They struggled against New Jersey. If, like I said, if New Jersey can score, that series is going 7 at most. You could see it. You could see in that overtime that New Jersey just didn't have any. They didn't have their top stars. They were just gassed and they knew they were done. If they had Jack Hughes, it's a different story, Gil.
Well, if you think about it, with all the overtime that did get played, it adds up to 6 games, really.
It does. So like, in Carolina, they were the rightful team to beat New Jersey because New Jersey didn't have their stars, and when they got some stars back, but they're not fully healthy. So like the fact that New Jersey took that to 5, I give them credit. Like I give them the pat on the back because they came stumbling in the playoffs once they lost. Like I said, I told you months like weeks ago when we had this preview that if Jack Hughes was in this series, I'd pick New Jersey. I would pick New Jersey over Carolina because I trust Markstrom more. Markstrom outplayed both Anderson and the other goaltender. Like he saved how many? Like 35 consecutive saves. I'm not.
20-something, I thought. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not scared of Carolina. Like I was more scared of New Jersey because New Jersey has our number. Like Carolina can't beat us at home. We can't beat them in Carolina, but well,
Good thing they got home ice then.
well, I don't I can't say that because a year ago we beat them both times in Carolina, or a couple of years ago we beat them both times in Carolina. We've actually won 3. I think we're like 50, like we're over 500 in Carolina the last 3 seasons. So, but it doesn't. Like I said, it doesn't matter. We're getting this matchup, Carolina and Washington. We knew this was gonna happen. Uh, I I so wanted this to happen. I want revenge. I feel like Carolina only beat us because we didn't have Barry Trotz in 2019. Todd Reardon was a fucking garbage choice. We should have paid the man, kept Trotz. We very likely would have fucking. I think we would have repeated as champions. You could definitely tell there was a huge drop off in fucking defense with Todd Reardon with Barry Trotz, and It showed in that series. Uh, Even though Bearcats did get swept the very next round by Carolina, but that's because Carolina was riding the momentum of beating us. Uh, I just feel like so much has happened since then. There's only like three guys on the roster, maybe four if you count Dowd. Dowd, I think it's Dowd, Carlson, and Ovechkin and Wilson are the only guys left on that roster in 2019. So, Gil, what is your overall prediction?
Um, I would like it to go six. I think Caps have the ability to finish in six. Something tells me, though, it's going to go seven because at least one or two of the games are going to go to overtime. And anything can happen in overtime.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be seven. If John Carlson has his shit together, then it'll definitely go six and the Caps will win. He needs to stop turning the damn puck over in his own end. He can cut that out. This will go six. But something tells me there's going to be quite the twisting and turning in this thing, and yeah, it's going to get crazy.
It's gonna be a long series. These are really two good teams. Uh, I just think Carolina really not doing much at the trade deadline is gonna come back to bite them in the ass. I mean,
They did something.
yeah, but
They erased that stupid ass deal they made early in the year.
yeah, if he was still on the team, they probably would have lost in New Jersey. Uh, I have a feeling, and people are saying he shouldn't play in this series, but I think he absolutely should. This is where we're gonna see the breakout moment for Mr. Nine. He got very close last night. He's getting more and more comfortable, and this is his style of play. He's a pest. He loves this, and he's gonna get. We're gonna need him to show up, and I think he will be up to task. I think Carolina's not going to respect him the same thing Montreal did. Montreal didn't respect Leonard. They didn't respect him at all in all 5 games. They didn't respect him, and they fucking he blew past him last night, and they didn't trip. Like there's both times that there was a missed call that he got taken down. He would have had a breakaway, and more likely that puck's in the back of the net. Uh, he is close, and I feel like this this series is going to like once he finds the back of the net, he's probably gonna explode. Like he is so good, right? He looks so good. Like he looked so good in that series in Montreal. Even the game 3, he looked good. It's like he just find the back of the net. If he can get a lucky bounce, he'll fucking feel great. He'll know that he can score, and he'll just fucking blow up. That's usually what happens for a lot of these college kids. Like once they get that first goal, they go off. And it's like I have a feeling that's what's gonna happen. Like he got his jitters in. He's ready to go. It doesn't help that his two fucking line mates can't fucking finish when he gives them a great fucking pass. Uh, Fucking Eller. Oh my god, last night Eller, like dude, if that was fucking Protus, if that was Ovechkin, if that was Wilson, if that was Dubois, if that was McMichael, that's in the back of the net. Uh, that's just. But he's perfect on the third line. It just Eller's just not working, and like we need him to produce if we want to go at least past the second round. We need that third line to produce. I mean, Majapani produced in Game 4, but that was like from a pass from Dylan Strome, so that really wasn't the third line. That was literally a line change. So we need that third line to show up. The fourth line is produced. The second line is produced. The top line is producing like crazy. Ovi's on fucking pace to score another 15 goals in the playoffs. Uh, and he's fucking 39, I remind you. He's 39. Uh, Gil, who do you expect to be if the Capitals move on to score the game winner?
Well, there's going to be a lot of physicality, so I expect a guy like Tom Wilson. Then again, I think um, the takeaway game is going to be key. So it might end up being a guy like Connor McMichael.
He's been so good in these playoffs. I told you guys at the beginning of before these playoffs started, he's gonna have a monster playoffs, and he's been so good. He's been so good. How many points he's got? He has like what, 4 or 5 points?
He's got 4 goals and at least 5 or 6 points.
Who's that? Jazz. He's got 3 goals and 2 assists, so he's got 5 points. He's just. That's right. He scored 2 goals in game 2. He is just. He is on. Like, Cheryl said Protus, but like if we win the cup, McMichael could be a potential Conn Smythe winner because he's having a monster playoffs, and I think it's only going to get better for him. I really do think he's going to be the key factor. Uh, I think Leonard's going to show up, but I think McMichael will be the key factor how we move on. Because remember, we didn't have these kids in 2019. Uh, we were the Stanley Cup champions, and we just came off a hangover, a brand new coach, a brand new system. The defense wasn't the same coaches. Lane Lambert wasn't on the team. Who's the other guy that left? Uh, Mitch Korn just left.
Yep.
So like the coaching staff was not the same. This is totally different. We have a great coaching staff put in place, and I just want to fucking eliminate that white French tip douche. Oh my god, it would be so awesome to fucking have him to have to shake Ovi's hand as his team once again fails to win the Stanley Cup. Because Carolina's gonna have that moment in the playoffs where they're gonna choke. They do it every year. Will it be in the second round or will it be in the third round? Whoever wins this, I just like the only shot that either of these teams have at going to the Stanley Cup final is if Toronto or Ottawa and Florida beat the shit out of each other, which is possible. I mean, Toronto and Florida, they hate each other. Ottawa and Florida, the Kachuk brothers, so it's possible. And we'll get into our predictions for that tonight. Gil, who do you want to see the most improvement outside of Carlson in the series?
Well, I guess you can't count Protus because we didn't. I mean, he didn't do really
He'll,
badly.
he'll more likely get moved up. I have a feeling they're going to slowly move him up. He'll be on the third line probably in game 1. Then he'll be back in the top 6 for game 2. They're just trying to slowly move him back into it. Protus, he'll get there. He'll get there. He had a couple chances last night. He'll get there, but I think I know someone that you might agree with. He hasn't looked particularly good. Like he's failed to clear the puck a lot. Uh,
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
you thinking what I'm thinking?
TVR?
No,
No.
no. Like
Uh,
we specifically signed him to be a defenseman. And
oh, Matt Roy.
he has not looked good in our own zone.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, I think we need him to be better. I think we
I'm
need
not
him to be
sold.
better.
I'm not sold on him. I mean, he had a decent game 5, not a great game 5. He was good enough, but he was nowhere near good as he's been most of the year. So yeah, he needs to be better.
Uh,
And he was terrible the first 2 games.
TVR was fine. TVR's been he's been blocking shots for us. He's not really a problem in my eyes. Uh, it's been Matt Roy, it's been John Carlson, it's been those two guys. Chikrin's been here and there, but I expect Chikrin to really produce on offense, which he has. He has 2 goals in this series. I think he has 4 points. 4 total points in this series. The series against Montreal. So he is doing his part, and like you also got to remember, this is Chikrin's first playoff ever. Like he's got 3 points. Because in front of a crowd. Because he played for Ottawa. He also played for Arizona. And the only time I think he made the playoffs was when Arizona was in the bubble. And I don't even think he played for Arizona. Yeah, 2020 he played 63 games. And doesn't say if he played. Here we go, playoffs. He went 9 games in the playoffs for Arizona. He has a goal and he's a -4. So he only played a total of 18 games or 18 minutes on the ice. So he was barely playing per game. Is that per game or total? Might be just per game. So he was playing 18 minutes on the ice but that was the bubble. And like his first series was the Colorado Avalanche, a team that was just coming off of getting Cal McCarr and Cal McCarr's rookie year, official rookie year, and there was no way in hell they were gonna fucking win that series. So this is, in my opinion, this is his real shot in the playoffs because Arizona were just a young team that barely made it. If they didn't have that play in, then Arizona doesn't make the playoffs. So Chikrin, I don't not gonna heart on Chikrin much. The defense has been good. It's just that the third period is what scares me the most outside of Game 5, or Game 4, because the Game 4 was the period that the Caps came out to play and they were the better team. Uh, Carolina's not going to do that. Carolina is going to play. Well, I can't say that because they were down 3-0 New Jersey. Carolina's not like Montreal. They're not young and inexperienced, but they have a weakness that we can exploit. There's times where Carolina they give up odd man rushes, and that's their biggest problem. I mean, if you look at it, like I said, that's why I said New Jersey. New Jersey could have won this series if they had their stars. Uh, if they give odd man rushes to us, we're not gonna miss. We're gonna find the back of the net, and that's what Carolina's biggest problem is, and that's how we're gonna exploit them, and that's how we're gonna potentially win this series in 6. I feel like the Capitals are built to at least make it to the third round. After that, it's whoever knows. I mean, if the momentum of getting into the third round is as explosive it was 2018, who knows? We might go the whole fucking way. Florida, they outplayed Tampa Bay, but if you look at it, that series should have been tied 2-2. Tampa kind of choked in Game 4. So really, that series should be 3-2 Florida. Vasilevsky didn't play his best either. So I feel like that really wasn't. You can't really tell if that Florida is going to be this amazing team because they could go in the next round, Gil, and fucking throw a goose egg. I just feel like Tampa Bay drawed, like they just did not show up in this series except for one game, and well, 2 games. I think they played a really good Game 4. Tampa Bay outplayed Florida in that Game 4. It's just fucking the turnovers and the constant bitching at the refs distracted Tampa Bay. And now, don't get me wrong, that hit by Aaron Ekblad was dirty.
Oh yeah.
And he should have been out of the game. So like really, he shouldn't have been there to score that game tying goal. But still doesn't matter. You failed to get the puck out of the zone, and it cost you. So Tampa Bay, like I remind everyone, Tampa Bay did trade 2 first-rounders to get fucking Yanni Gourde. And now their first rounder this year is now going to be a top 15 pick, a top 20 pick. All right, Gil, you ready to talk about tonight's games?
Yep.
All right, which one do you want to start with? They're all West. No, what? We got one East. You want to talk about the first one, or do you want to save that for last? Because I want to save that for last.
Yeah, save that one for last.
All right. So what do you want to start with? Vegas, Minnesota, Colorado, Dallas, or Edmonton, LA?
Vegas, Minnesota. I thought Minnesota had a shot for a while, but I don't like the way they've been playing lately. Kaprizov's having a good series, but he's not getting much help.
The thing about that, though, is I think what finally happened was Jack Eichel finally woke up.
Yeah.
They held him to bed for a while, and it just like they were barely offsides too. They almost won Game 5. They scored late, but it was offsides. And then Vegas was able to go to overtime and win. Vegas is kind of like Dallas. You get them to overtime, they're gonna win.
Yeah.
And we'll talk to Dallas in a minute. Which Dallas is the same thing. Dallas's big boys showed up too. But we'll get into them in a minute. This series, I still feel like going 7. I just feel like Minnesota will have a great game tonight in front of their home crowd. They'll be explosive. They'll win game 6, force game 7 on Saturday. I have a feeling every series except for one is going 7. The remainder of the series, I feel like St. Louis without Mark Scheifele, Winnipeg's going to struggle tomorrow. So I think St. Louis will respond in front of their fans, force game 7. Let's talk about the next series. This one is a big one because I feel like the Avs kind of dropped the ball here in game 5. They had all the momentum and they just blew it. Like, they didn't show up for this game. They did not. And, Gil, what is your prediction for? Oh, we didn't predict the score for Minnesota.
Oh,
What do you want? What's your prediction for the score?
3-2 Knights.
You think the Knights are going to win? Okay.
Knights will close it out.
I think 4-1 Minnesota. The Knights defense doesn't scare me. Like, the Knights defense has been all over the place these playoffs, which is why I think Minnesota still has a shot at winning this in 7. So I think 4-1 tonight.
I wouldn't be shocked.
All right, Gil. Dallas, Colorado. Dallas, just like Vegas, their big boys came to play. Mikko Rantanen finally found the back of the net. He got a point and a goal in game 5. I just don't think the series is over. I just don't think it's over yet. Colorado's coming home. Gabriel Landeskog is going to be a huge momentum. The Avs get final change. The last time they were home, they dominated Dallas. I feel like Colorado's going to respond after that god-awful game. And the thing is, it wasn't even Dallas outplayed them. Colorado just took stupid penalties, and they just...
A lot of them.
They just stopped playing after making it 3-2. Like, McKinnon was pissed.
Something was off. Something was very off that night. McKinnon was yelling at Coyle.
So
they were not in sync.
I think they respond tonight, and they go into Dallas in Game 7 and finally knock off Peter Dubois. Gil, your final prediction?
Avs 4-2.
I think Avs. It'll be a closer game. I agree with you. 4-2. 4-2. All right, let's get into the final game before we get into the big one. Gil, what the fuck, dude? This series should be over. This should have been a sweat. This should have been a sweep. What the fuck, dude? Like, what the hell is LA doing? They should have swept Edmonton. Like, the only game Edmonton won that they deserved to win was Game 5. Holy fuck, dude. Which I want to point out was pretty fun. It's pretty fucking crazy that the entire Eastern Conference bracket was 3-1 and the entire Western Conference bracket was 2-2. The first time I think this is the first time ever that's happened. Like, what the fuck? Like, they were up, 4-1 in Game 3. They were up 3-1 in Game 4. And they blew both games. Like, it's just like different years, same result. I just don't know how LA goes into Edmonton and wins tonight. But if they do, Edmonton's done. Like, if they win tonight, they're winning in 7. And the Kings, they just do it. This is fucking, I guess it's just, this is their boogeyman. This is their version of our Pittsburgh Penguins. And, like, once the Kings finally get past Edmonton, it's going to be, like, the same way we finally got past Pittsburgh. They win the cup. And, but the Kings already have 2 cups. And they won it. Those are amazing runs for them. I had so much high hopes for this team, this playoff run. They were so good. And they fucking blew it. They're blowing it. Gil, I know you feel the same way.
Yeah, it looked like Kings had all the momentum, and I don't know. I can't put my finger on it.
If LA can score first in this game, I think they win. I think they're going to learn from their mistake. They're going to shut it down tonight. But if Edmonton scores first, the series is over. Like, I just don't know how LA is going to come back to respond, and that fucking loud ass crowd. Gil, I gotta do it. I think Edmonton wins 5-2. They move on. Your prediction? This could go 7. This very well could go 7. The Kings could very well turn around, and they're still a very good team. They're still very good coached. Uh, and Quentin
I think
Byfield.
they'll extend it. I think they'll extend it to 7. Whether or not they show up for Game 7, that's the big question.
I think they will
Uh,
if they
I
force
think.
Game 7.
Yeah, I think this one's going to be low scoring. So Kings 3-1,
Kind of like last game.
kind of like last game. Yeah.
All right. So you got Kings in this one. You got Vegas in the other one. You have we both have Colorado for that one. I have Minnesota, and I have Edmonton. All right, let's get into the series, which we obviously been waiting for. Gil, remember what I told you in Game 4? Remember what I told you in Game 4?
That Toronto has a propensity to choke on a lot.
No, I told you that after Game 3. I said if any team could blow a 3-0 lead, it's Toronto. But remember what I
It's
told
Toronto.
remember what I told you in Game 4 though during that overtime.
I'm trying to remember.
Let me give you a hint. It was the double minor.
Oh, because they had that. Yeah,
I
yeah.
told
You're
you.
supposed to. Yeah,
I
if you blow, if you blow that opportunity, you deserve to lose.
uh not only that, I told you if they blow this series, everyone's gonna look back at that because
Right,
that
right,
was their
right.
opportunity to close the
That was
series
their
out.
chance. That was
And
their chance.
remember last time Claude Giroux uh came back from down 3-0 from a series. The Game 4 they won in overtime. I think it was a similar score, 4-3 against Boston. From if I'm correct me if I'm right. Who specifically called that game for versus?
Oh, good question. Um,
It's not that hard. Simone Gagne! The Flyers live on for Game 5! Or the Flyers fight another day for Game 5. Where Flyers survive. He's a certain broadcaster who also called the Chris Drury goal to tie it in Game 5 against the New York Rangers. He is also the certain game caller who called the Alex Ovechkin 895.
I thought it was him, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
All right, Joe
he
B.
he did verses. He did verses before they became NBC
Yeah,
and SN. Cause
yeah, he did, and
cause
they screwed him out of that deal.
he wasn't fully with the Capitals. He was half and half. He was doing Caps and he was doing verses. Uh, specifically for the playoffs, he would call the verses for the playoffs. Kind of like what John Walton did in 2018. He would call for he called games for the game. He called. I think John Walton called New Jersey Game 3 against Tampa Bay. Yes, this series. I gotta say it. If Ottawa forces 7, they're winning. They're winning. Like even Steve Dangle said it. If Ottawa wins tonight, Toronto's done. And honestly, this is a type of series that could get you even past the second round. And I could see Ottawa. I could see if they come back from this 3-0 deficit. I could see them getting past Florida. I could see them getting past Florida. And if they get past Florida and we can get past Carolina, I think we have a good shot at going to the Stanley Cup final, Gil. But let's see what happens tonight. Gil, your final prediction.
Um, yeah, the big guns of Toronto go quiet. Ottawa 3-2.
Overtime?
Yeah, yeah, it could go overtime. Wouldn't surprise me.
You're going to be surprised when I say this. I think Toronto wins tonight.
You think they find a way to not choke again?
I think they find a way to not choke. I think the last game they were Matthew was so embarrassed. He was slamming his stick and everything. This is Craig Berube's team too, so I think
Yeah, I get that.
I think Toronto fucking absolutely chokes. Uh no. Yeah, I have a feeling Ottawa, they're going to be fucking feeling the crowd. This is going to be maybe a potential 4 or 5 goal differential. I have Ottawa winning 6-2. Uh, and like I said, but I wouldn't be shocked if Toronto wins tonight. I do think Toronto is a better team than they should be. This should be like, and if they can finally get past Ottawa, they can get past Ottawa. Like the last time they were in a situation like this, not blowing a 3-0 lead, but they were up 3-2. They beat Tampa Bay. You gotta remember that they beat Tampa Bay in six. They got completely steamrolled the next round because their fans were fucking cocky, chanting "We want Florida." Well, you got Florida. You got them in 5, and they eliminated your ass. Uh, we didn't say that about Carolina. We uh we want Carolina, but we're not cocky. We know Carolina's a good team, but we also know deep down that we're better than them. That's why we won the division. We've also, like Lindsay said last night, we tend to play a hell of a lot better against our divisional opponents than we do the Atlantic. And this should be a fun second round series for the Capitals, but we don't know when that'll be because if Ottawa wins tonight, that's going 7 on Saturday. If Winnipeg, if St. Louis wins tomorrow, that's on Sunday. So the game potentially we're looking at Tuesday for game 1. So, Gil, do you want to do a real quick prediction for the rest of the playoffs?
Mm, I mean, it hasn't really changed. I think Florida's going to make it to the conference final, and it's going to be us in Florida, and that's where our trip stops. And I think Edmonton still finds a way to get past LA.
Or you mean LA?
Or
You mean LA finds a way to get past Edmonton because you picked LA to beat him last time.
okay, I couldn't remember if I switched or not.
You switched. You switched. The last 2 picks you had LA beating Edmonton because Edmonton was on.
Okay, but it doesn't matter because whoever runs into Colorado,
If Colorado gets back, whoever wins,
if they get out of that
I'm gonna
series,
say right now, whoever wins between Colorado and Dallas is winning the whole thing. I'm gonna say right now, whoever wins between those 2 teams, because if you look at Dallas, they're gonna get Miro back, they're gonna get Robo back, they're gonna be healthy, they're gonna be arguably the best team in the league, and they're gonna be tough to beat. So if they get past Colorado, I think they win it all. If Colorado gets past them, I think they win it all. But like Landeskog coming back, you can't falter in the first round. You got to at least make it out of the first round with him being back. So I think the Avs aren't going to falter. I think this year they're different. They have the guys to get it done. They just shit the bed the other night. So I think they're going to respond tonight. But I said that the same thing last time when they went to game 6. I said they're going to win. They're at home. And they fucking lost in double overtime. But here's the thing though. The Avs did not have Brock Nelson. They didn't have Charlie Coyle. They didn't have Jack Jury. They didn't have Landeskog. They didn't have Mackenzie Blackwood. So they didn't have these guys they're here now. So like eventually you gotta beat your boogeyman. So I think whoever wins between Colorado and Dallas is winning the whole fucking thing. Because Winnipeg's probably gonna falter. I think Winnipeg St. Louis is going 7. Vegas Minnesota could potentially go 7. LA and Edmonton could go 7. Toronto and Ottawa probably going 7. Uh, and potentially seeing Ottawa win it. I have a feeling if Ottawa gets past Toronto, they could get past Florida. That's so much like that momentum. That momentum from coming back 3-0, Gil. How do you
mm,
how do you counteract that shit? I mean, like every time a team has come back down 3-0, they've tended to gone to the Stanley Cup final. I mean, look, LA did it in 2014, won the cup. 2010, Philadelphia did it, went on to the final. So I don't know how Florida like. If I'm Florida, I want Toronto.
that's a switch.
Like if I'm Florida, I want Toronto. I'm gonna say right now, if I'm Florida, I want Toronto because they match up so much better with Toronto than they do Ottawa. Like Ottawa's scary. Like Ottawa, like they're tough. They're tough to like. any other season, I think Ottawa wins. Like they're in the top three. But like, and Dylan Cousins is starting to produce, which I told you when he starts to produce, Ottawa's going to be dangerous, and he produced last night. So or the other night, Game 5, he scored an important uh shorthanded goal that made the goal. Or what was it? 2-0. Made it 2-0. Which kind of deflated Toronto because they went potentially going from 1-1 to 2-0. I don't know. I think I'm gonna stick with my pick. If Ottawa wins Game 7, they're beating Florida. Like I think Florida, as much as how good they looked against Tampa Bay, if any other like if the bounces went the other way, I think Tampa Bay would have easily won that series as well in 5. So like that was a flip of a coin, but Ottawa is gonna have so much momentum from coming back down 3-0 that I could see them beating Florida. I have us winning in 6 or 7. I have LA. I have Edmonton and Vegas ultimately moving on. So I'll have Edmonton. I think Edmonton's gonna knock out Vegas. Actually, you know what? No, I think Vegas is gonna knock out Edmonton. Vegas has always had Edmonton's number. So I would have probably Dallas and Vegas in the conference finals again. Dallas or Colorado. Washington, Ottawa. And I would probably have Washington and Dallas in the Stanley Cup final, if that's the case. If Florida doesn't get out of the second round, I think whoever wins between Washington and Carolina is going to the conference or going to the Stanley Cup final. Does that sound about right?
I can see that.
Because I just feel like Ottawa's going to run out of gas. They're going to run it like Ottawa does this almost every playoffs though, Gil. Like every time they make the playoffs, they go on a deep run. They do this shit almost every time. Like when was the last time they made the playoffs? Where'd they go? Conference finals, Game 7.
Conference final.
Year before that, second round. Year before that, I think they didn't make the playoffs, but they made it like so they beat. Who did they beat? They lost the second round to I think what was it Montreal? No, it was the 2007. They went to the Stanley Cup final.
They went to they went all the way to the final.
2007. They got revenge against Buffalo. But like I said, everything's lining up for the Caps. I just don't trust the Caps. Like the Capitals got revenge for 2010. They can get revenge for 2019, and they can revenge 22. I just don't think, even if the Capitals get out of the conference finals, I just don't think we're gonna have enough to win the Stanley Cup. I just don't. Like as much as Cheryl's picking us to win, I just don't think it's our year this year. But like I said the same thing about 2018, and look what the fuck happened. We won the cup. So I guess maybe. So does that mean we're gonna win the cup this year? Because I don't believe. Then again, I didn't believe last year, but last year was kind of obvious. Like, but I always said though, the last time one of my sports teams got embarrassed in one of the finals, the Washington Capitals won the Stanley Cup the next year. Well, guess who fucking got embarrassed in the World Series last year? So, does that mean the Capitals are going to win the cup because the sports gods are throwing me a bone? Probably.
Never know.
If they do, it'd be fucking crazy. I don't think it's going to be as amazing as the first cup run. Because that was the first time, like in a whole 2 generations, got to see the Capitals win the Stanley Cup. This time around, I think it's a little bit different because now a whole 2 generations have already seen them win the cup. So now a third generation, maybe it'll be more exciting for them. I mean, it's always exciting to see your team win a championship. It's always. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say that it's not all exciting, but I don't think it's going to be as massive. Like the crowd will be as massive as it was in 2018. Because that was just special. That was so special. It was the first time we beat Pittsburgh in a long time. The first time we got to the conference finals since 1998. The Capitals' first Stanley Cup final win. Remember, they got swept against Detroit in '98, and then they won the cup in Las Vegas. It couldn't have been a more perfect ending for the Capitals. This year, I don't think there's going to be a perfect ending. I think it's going to be a heartbreak. Next year's a different story. Next year we're gonna have some big boys coming up. Which, speaking of one of those big boys, Mr. Baby Protus is now with the Hershey Bears. He is with the Hershey Bears as a black ace. He will not play. I didn't realize how fucking big he was. 6'5". Holy shit! Is he taller than Protus?
I think Alexei's 6'5" too. Pretty sure.
No, he's 6'6". Okay, so Alexei is an inch taller. I was like, holy shit. Uh, they look nothing alike. They look nothing alike. They don't even look like they're fucking family members, but they are. Uh, he's coming up. He had a hell of an OHL. He'll be with the Bears probably in a couple years. Uh, if he even plays, he could potentially just jump into the NHL. Uh, he's that damn good. Andrew Crystal is more likely the next guy to join the Capitals. He will play with the Bears this year. He'll have a shot at the opening roster next preseason. I don't think he will make make the team. I mean, he looked good in the preseason that he played with us. But he's got 34 points in 13 games in the playoffs, and I have a feeling their road's going to come to an end when they run into the buzzsaw that is the Medicine Hat Tigers. You can see this go, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll look into this. So the playoff bracket, as you can see right here, Medicine Hat already moved on, swept the Hurricanes. Spokane plays tonight at 10 p.m. against Portland. And if they win, they're moving on. And I think the potential game one is this weekend. The winner of that series is going to the Memorial Cup final. Gil, I know we're being selfish. Oh, I just got an email. Let's see what it's from. Oh, it's fucking that stupid shit. I gotta redo my homework. All right, Gil. I know I'm gonna be selfish asking this, but would you be upset if Spokane lost to Medicine Hat?
Not really. Um, in part because I really don't care about the Memorial Cup.
Yeah.
But I mean, it means Cristal can come up and be a black ace. Sure,
I don't think
you know
he'll
he
be. I
get.
don't think he'll be Black Ace. I think he's going right to the lineup. He's old enough to play, so I think they're gonna. And they desperately need offense, so I think they're gonna throw him on the roster. They'll throw him into the lineup. That's the difference between Crystal and the others that came over, like Parasek, uh,
Right.
Protus. Who's the other guy? Ludwig Pearson. Uh, Patrick Thomas, who potentially could be our next fourth liner in the future. He's really surprised me. I thought he was just a throwaway pick. Uh, he like Crystal will more likely play the playoffs for Hershey. He'll do what exactly that kid for Columbus did for Cleveland in the conference finals. He'll jump in and start playing. Crystal was a black ace last year. I don't think he'll be a black ace this year. He is 20 years old. He is eligible to play in the WHL, and Todd Nelson is not going to say no to an offensive juggernaut like that. Especially when Hershey absolutely needs that. Which, speaking of that, Gil, if you ever want tickets to go to the Hershey game, hit up Cheryl. We have season tickets now.
Yeah,
Uh,
you told me.
yeah. So if you ever want to, in case because we got, did we get full season or partial? Full, full season. So free parking. An hour early to get in. So we're probably going to one of the games eventually. I don't know when. because we're also planning on going to a game in the second round for the Caps and Canes if it works with Cheryl's schedule. Hopefully, I would love to go to game one, but I don't think she's gonna go. I already told her, I already paid the last 6 tickets of Caps games, so I'm not. I have no money. I already broke my bank. Uh, so yeah, Gil, this will be a fun ride for us. This episode's probably gonna go up next tomorrow when I get home from work, because I'm gonna be on the computer doing homework. I gotta revise my fucking homework. Gil, do we want to talk about a little bit? So, what are we gonna talk about the future? What are we doing? What are our plans? I know, and then what you want to do next week? Is it next week we're doing mock draft 6, or is it the week after?
I forget what we said. Um,
Well, let's look it
I'm fine either way.
up. Probably. Well, we can't do Tuesday or Wednesday because me and Cheryl are gonna be in DC going to the both my Valentine. So probably it'll probably be the week after.
Okay.
Probably either Tuesday or Wednesday. All right. Let's get into the next segment. We got to talk about some firings, some coaching firings, and some potential other shit. Taylor Radish was not in the game last night because he attended as a witness, in the 2018, was it 2018 or 2016?
2018.
2018 sexual assault on a young girl. The 2018 World Junior and Canadian team.
Yep.
Cal McCarr is a witness. Taylor Radish was a witness. Who else was a witness? I think Cody, the McLeod brother, the other McLeod, I think was also a witness. A goalie was a witness. But anyways, they were all witnesses. So Taylor Radish couldn't play last night. I don't think he was gonna play anyways, because
No, he was probably going to be the scratch regardless.
yeah. So, but other news. So we have coaching firings. Let's shocker. Mike Sullivan is no longer the head coach for the Pittsburgh Penguins. I mean, he's not a bad coach. He's probably arguably one of the best. The fact that he took the back-to-back Stanley Cup wins in his first 2 seasons is crazy. I mean, he hasn't done stuff that, but that's not on his fault. Like, the roster got old. Uh, they didn't want like Crosby refused to go young. He wanted to continue to compete. So you can't really complain. You can't really blame Mike Sullivan for that shit. And I think Mike Sullivan will be a perfect fit for Chicago. So we're gonna do a little thing on this, a new thing on the segment calling coaching carousel, Gil. Coaching carousel. What are your predictions, Gil, for the NHL head coaching vacancies? So let's see what we got here. So we have the current vacancies are Anaheim, New York, Seattle, Pittsburgh, and Vancouver. Yes, Vancouver's, you would say, well, Rick Tocchet. Nope, Rick Tocchet and Vancouver came to agreement that Rick Tocchet is not going back because Rick Tocchet doesn't want to deal with that bullshit of a manager. The ownership and franchise, the organization's fucking terrible in Vancouver. Gil, which also, if you look at this, there's 3 teams that currently employ interim head coaches as well. So Boston, Chicago, and Philadelphia. So that could be potential eight vacancies. Cheryl, if you want to join, please. All right, she's good. Okay, so let's do this. Bleacher Report has the ranking the best odds. Gil, your first prediction. Who do you want to do first?
Let's get the easy one out of the way.
Pittsburgh?
Well, no, New York.
Oh, yeah. Sammy Salberg came out with a rumor. She said, don't take this with a grain of salt, though. Her rep and her sources have said that John Tortorella and Chris Drury
Yeah.
are talking, and there's a potential reunion between the two teams.
That ain't
or the two,
happening.
two, two,
That
two, two partners. But I don't think that's gonna happen.
that ain't happening. No, no. Mike Sullivan is going to go to the Rangers.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Cause he's. I mean, look at that roster.
They are a potential cup
They
contender.
are potential cup. They are a couple forwards away. Um,
They
I
just
think he's the guy. I think he's the guy that can put shit together and ask management for the right guy to come in. They probably need one more defenseman. They probably need one more forward.
yeah.
One of the what somebody from that current roster is gone. They're not signing everybody back. They got at least 2, 3 free agents. Somebody is going.
It says right here, projected to have 9.6 million during the 2025-2026 season. They misspelled.
Yeah,
They put 25.
they
It said
got a goalie that Sullivan
RFS.
never hasn't had in like 4 years.
Well, he hasn't
Why
had
wouldn't
one.
he want to go there?
He hasn't had one since prime Matt Murray.
Right.
So with RFA's, I think Keandre Miller's gone. I think Miller's gone.
I'm pretty.
Uh,
Yeah, that's good bet. I think Miller's gone. I think
Panarin's gone. Panarin's
Panarin's
gone.
definitely gone.
Fox will stay. Fox will
I don't know
stay.
how the hell. I don't know how the hell he ends up staying, but Zibanejad will probably stay.
Well, Sabanajad and Sullivan, I think, are close. Fox will stay. 100% Fox will stay.
He needs to stay.
Uh,
He's a core.
and I see that, but I think Mike Sullivan also looks at Chicago as, ooh, they they
Eh,
they have a good team potential on the rise. Uh,
eh,
they have
I don't know.
they have an excellent goalie in the future, Spencer Knight. They have excellent forwards, and now they could potentially imagine if they draft James Higgins, and you put him with Bedard. You have Bedard 1, Higgins 2, and then you have Oliver Moore 3, and now you have Sammy Rinzo. You have that kid that Lev. You have Frank Nazar, who's going to be a pest and a beast. I just said Chicago is going to be very good in the next 3 years.
Hockey wise, on the ice, they will be very good. I don't like that organization though. That the stink of what happened 3 years ago
Yeah,
with the sexual assault, that's
yeah.
still on them. They haven't washed that off
Which
yet.
is why I think Mike Sullivan would be a perfect fit to get that out of there. I just think Mike Sullivan looks at Chicago and thinks, well, Connor Bedard. Connor Bedard and Sidney Crosby play a similar style. I love the Rangers. I just don't think Mike Sullivan's going to go right to them. I really don't think. I have a feeling that Rick Tockett, that is
Talk it.
Rick Tockett fits way better for the Rangers. But anyways, all right. So you got Rangers, Mike Sullivan. I should probably bring up Canada for this one. All right. So you have. All right. So here we go. We'll do this. We'll do like a document. All right. You know what? We should do it in the app. It's probably better if we do it in the app. Yes, please. Then it'll probably load up in the app. All right. So here's our potential. Okay, never mind. That does not work. Maybe I can show it up in the app. Maybe I can do it in the app. Hold on. Video share. You won't be able to see it. You might be able to see it. Hold on. Here we go. Right here, I got the. See if I can have it. Nope, it's not on here. Here we go. Can you see that?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. The same thing on here. I'm gonna hide it, and then we'll stop sharing, and we'll share it here. The entire screen. Windows. How do I do the entire screen? Oh, is that Liam?
Yeah.
I love him, dude. He's awesome.
Yeah, they're about to start up Leafs and Senators.
All right. So here we go. You see this? All right. So they see this. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and bring this over here so I can do this. All right, Gil. So you see this, they see this. Okay, so now we have the New York Rangers. Why does it say Nuggets logo? All right, New York Rangers, new Rangers. Okay, so you have the New York Rangers. All right, we'll go ahead and put. Is that my boy Bisonet?
Yeah.
Love him. What a guy.
We got to be done in like 15, 20 minutes.
All right. Okay, let's do this. Okay, New York Rangers. You have Mike Sullivan. All right. Let's do the next one. The next one is you want to do Vancouver?
Yeah.
All right. Vancouver Canucks.
See, I don't know who would want to go there.
Probably an up and coming coach.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, they'd probably go first year coach.
Probably
But
that.
not Carl.
No, he will
Not
not.
David Carl.
He will not go there. He's gonna go to.
No.
He's gonna go to a bigger team. He's gonna go if he does coach in the NHL. He'll go to a bigger team. There we go. Okay. All right. So we have Mike Sullivan for you. For me, I'm going probably Rick. Tell me if I'm spelling it right.
TOCCET.
TOC
TOCCET.
like that, or TO. I thought it was TOHCTT. Whatever. We'll keep it like that. Rick Tocchet, and then I can always just look it up right here. We're gonna get out of this.
You know what? I think there is an H.
So I think there is an H. That's what I thought. There's one way to find out. Nope, there is an H. Yep, TOCCHET. So I have Rick Tocchet. All right, so Vancouver, you have probably the coach out of the QMHL from the Wildcats coach. So that's probably who you're thinking of, the current coach, Gardner McDougall.
Well, I've heard of a guy who's talking. Well, okay, the guy who coached UWM to the national title.
Yeah.
I'm hearing he's been talking to the Ducks, but he might go Vancouver too.
All right, so I think that's going to be Vancouver's pick is Gardner McDougall. You were going what's the coach's name?
I don't know his name. Whoever was the coach Western Michigan.
Oh, Western Michigan. Oh,
He's already has an interview with the Ducks. He's already talked to them.
That is Pat Firstweiler. Pat Firstweiler.
Yeah.
But you have him as the Ducks. Do you have him going to the Ducks?
No. I don't think the Ducks will hire him. I think the Ducks will hire somebody else. They got somebody else in mind.
So he will go. So you have him going to Vancouver.
But he's getting some big time consideration.
All right.
So I can't see him without a job.
Okay, so you got him going to Vancouver. I got the other guy going to Vancouver. Who's next? Philadelphia. So let's do Philadelphia.
And that's where Tocchet's going to end up.
You think Rick Tocchet's going to Philadelphia?
He's an ex-Flyer. He's that's where he's going.
I mean,
if he doesn't end up, but you're right though. If he doesn't end up in Philadelphia, he's going to end up with the Rangers because he wants to go East Coast.
The Flyers are such in a good situation that I think it makes sense for Rick Tocchet to go there because they're potentially a year away from competing. They have the goalie in place for the future. They have the talent,
they got a lot of young guys, and Tocchet's a teacher. He's a teaching coach.
I think this is where Pat goes. I feel like he could be a very good fit for them. He plays that style of his style of hockey for the Western Michigan Broncos fits. It fits Philadelphia Flyers hockey so well.
I can see that too.
It fits them so well. So all right, so that's another one down. So who's next? So we got the Rangers, got the Vancouver Canucks, got the Philadelphia Flyers. Anaheim's next, right?
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead. We'll do black.
Okay. Anaheim is hard in on Joel Quenneville.
Joel Quenneville. Okay.
He's gonna be their next coach.
You think he may? You think they're gonna hire him?
I'm
Even
positive.
even with the scandal.
Well, I think enough time has passed.
I really don't blame him for that either. Like I get it, he was part of it. He could have done something about it, but like you can't really fucking. How do you spell Quenneville?
Quue.
I got it right
Forget
here.
if it's two
I got it
N's.
right here.
Two N's.
Qunnne
It is two N's. All right.
Vil. All right, so you have Joel Quenneville. I gotta agree. I don't know the. You know what? I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna fucking say it.
Say what?
John Tortorella.
To the Ducks?
To the Ducks. I think John Tortorella could go to the Ducks.
Oh God, Trevor Zegras will turn black and throw up.
Probably.
He will fucking quit hockey.
You know what? Now that you said that, probably not. You know what? Here's a name to throw out there. And he's the current assistant coach of Vegas. He's also getting his name thrown in as a head coach. Joe Ward.
Oh yeah.
I could see him going to Anaheim.
I would. Yeah. I'd like to see him do time in the AHL as a head coach.
I don't think he will though because he's done such a good job. He was the coach for them when they won the cup, right?
I can't remember. I don't think he was, but I don't want him to be another Todd Reardon.
Yeah, but I think he was. I think he was part of that cup winning team.
I don't want him to be, a first year coach that does, choke so bad that nobody ever looks at him again. But if he goes to Anaheim, nobody's going to expect anything anyway.
Yeah.
So
Joe Ward, I think won. Yeah, he got promoted the year that they won the cup, so he didn't win it. So he was there. He was in Silver. So he was in Henderson. So he was already coaching the AHL.
Okay.
So he didn't win the cup. All right. Who's next? Chicago. The big one. Chicago's the big one.
God, I don't know. If they don't get Sullivan, I don't know who they're going to get.
Sullivan's my pick. Here's another one I'm gonna throw out. And that is you don't want him to be in the NHL, but I could definitely see David Carl going to Chicago, especially if they get James Hagan.
That might be where if Carl is serious about an NHL job, that will probably be where he goes. He's got a lot of young guys that are ready to take that next step.
And like I said, if they end up drafting James Hagan, there's your connection.
Yeah.
Because James Hagan played for him for the World Juniors, which he will not be playing. He will not be coaching the World Juniors. He will not be coaching the World Juniors this year. He said he's done.
No. Yeah.
Which tells me he's going to the NHL.
Yeah.
Which tells me he's going to the NHL. He knows he's going to the NHL. Which I don't blame him. Like he's had such a great year. He's such a good coach. And like he's gonna struggle, but like I think he's so good that he's gonna find a way to just win a Stanley Cup in the next.
Now that I think about it, I think Chicago would be perfect for him.
I that's what I'm thinking. David Carl was my pick for Chicago. The least likely pick is our next one. I'm afraid that he's gonna go to Pittsburgh because I don't need Pittsburgh getting him, dude. Fuck that. And they get fucking Gavin McKinnon next year. Oh hell no, that'd be fucking nightmare. All right, Pittsburgh Penguins are our next on the clock. Gil, let me turn the light on. All right, Gil. Pittsburgh Penguins.
This might be the I don't know. It won't happen, but this falls in the category of they can do something funny by doing this. John Tortorella.
You want John Tortorella to the?
No, I don't want him there. I'm saying if they did, that'd be the funniest thing. But no, it won't happen. But I mean, I don't see where else he would go.
So you have John Tortorella. I have another name to bring up. Uh, you're not gonna like this because he is our current Hershey Bear head coach, Todd Nelson.
Todd Nelson.
Todd Nelson.
I can see him going to Pittsburgh.
He has he
Now
has he has history in there. I believe he was an assistant coach for the Penguins.
Todd Nelson's going to get a lot of looks. I don't know. I don't know that
Yeah,
he'll get hired right off. He might end up being a midseason replacement. But he's gonna get a lot of looks.
he played 3 games for both the Capitals and the Penguins between 91 to 94. So yeah, he has history with the teams. I think Pittsburgh fits. Todd Nelson fits so well on Pittsburgh.
He does. He
Uh,
does. But I don't know if that's the direction they want to go in.
all right, so we got
We'll see. We'll see.
Chicago.
Wouldn't surprise me.
So we got Chicago.
Because the reason I say that is this: Crosby is 2 years from retirement.
Yeah.
Malkin is looking retirement in the face. Letang probably
Letang's
should
done.
retire,
Letang's done. He's not coming back. Letang's done.
and you know I don't know. I don't know that I think the management wants to go after a big name to see if they can make one more cup run.
All right, so we have what 2 more teams left. Who's the other one? Boston. Boston Bruins. Boston. Boston. The Boston Bruins. Boston. The Harbor.
I tell you what, if anybody's serious about a job, don't go there.
Oh, they're ready for a rebuild.
One and two. Last two coaches they had, they won the Adams Award and screwed them both over.
Yeah, that's right. Jack Cassidy and
Montgomery screwed them both over. I wouldn't touch that job. Hell, fucking no.
all right.
They're probably going to get shut out. They're probably going to get a first year coach since they're going to
So
be terrible anyway.
you know, it'd be really hilarious is if Joe Ward goes there.
Oh God, no, no.
After, and you know how many? Remember the death threats he got?
Yeah, I know, but no.
All right. My pick here probably is going to be a guy who just got fired. Dan Bosma.
Yeah, I can see him going to Boston.
Who do you got, Gil?
I don't think they're gonna. I don't think a lot of big names are gonna want to go there. I think the guy that just got fired in Anaheim is probably going to end up going to Boston. Greg Cronin.
Greg Cronin.
Yeah.
Okay. Which leaves us with one more team.
They'll pay him a lowball salary. They'll suck
Right.
for 2 years because they're rebuilding, and then they'll blame him, and then get rid of him, and then hire some bigger name to take all the credit later.
I'm not gonna do that for all of them. All right.
So who's left?
Who is left? Let me look it up. NHL head coaching vacancies. Seattle. Seattle Kraken are the last.
Oh
ones.
damn. That's right. Almost
They-
forgot about
They
them.
fired. Well, that's why I said Dan Bosma because they fired him.
Dan
after 1
Bosma.
year.
Yeah.
I think they hire.
Stupid.
I think they hire within. They hire within.
Well, okay. Well, there's an if they hire within, there's two names.
Who's their current coach and
Oh, you mean okay? So you think they hire from their whoever? Well, the Coachella is their AHL.
yes,
So you think they hire that person?
someone from Coachella because Coachella's on their way to another potential playoff.
Mm, Well, whoever's been at Coachella has only been there like what 1 or 2 years.
Well,
'Cause that's
Seattle's not in the situation where they're going to compete for another 3 years.
right, but they just hired Bilesma like 1 or 2 years ago,
Well,
and that's where he came from.
yeah, he coached 2 years for Coachella and took him to the finals back-to-back years. AHL playoffs. Let's see what the standings look like currently. Which, by the way, congratulations to the Bears. They won game one. They're up 1-0. Coachella is playing Abbotsford, the Canucks. Let's see this. Let's see the playoffs. Playoff bracket. Okay, so we have. My pick is Colorado to go all the way this year. I think the Eagles are going to win it. But who is their head coach? Let's look up Coachella's head coach. Well, who is the other guy from their ECHL team? He could also be a potential. That they move him up.
Levels?
No, I'm saying they hire the Coachella and they move that guy up to Coachella. Derek Ledix. He is. You know what? I'm gonna throw a name out. He's currently on the Capitals. Mitch Love.
Oh yeah.
I think one of our assistants is gone after this season.
I wouldn't surprise me, and I think he's it.
He's the future.
I don't see Muller going anywhere. I don't see Scott Allen going anywhere. So yeah,
ain't nobody. Well, Scott Allen I could see happening, but Scott Allen could go to Boston.
No.
Scott Allen could go to Boston.
Scott Allen had a swing at being an AHL head coach, and it was a disaster.
Wasn't he? See, I thought he was Hershey.
He wasn't Hershey. It was somewhere else. I think it was Grand Rapids.
Oh. I think Scott Allen could.
But yeah, I think yeah. I mean, well, Mitch Love's from out west. He used to be Calgary.
The Calgary Wranglers head coach.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that's home for him. So yeah, Seattle would be probably a good fit.
All right, so, who do you got?
I'll go with that. Mitch Love.
All right, so you got Mitch Love? Okay. I'm probably going to change mine then. I could see a lot of the assistant coaches going, but there's one particular that could go if they give him a shot, because I think he was severely fucking completely shot down in New York. And I think he's still a very good coach, and I think if he gets another shot at being a head coach, he's going to be successful. Lane Lambert. He's currently in Toronto, and if the Maple Leafs lose in Game 7, he could be a potential fit for Seattle. Lane Lambert is a guy that's gonna come in and coach your team, especially if a team is in a rebuild like Seattle is. That's my pick, Lane Lambert
for
Seattle.
Okay.
So these are all our picks. You got Mike Sullivan for Gill. Rick Tocchet for me. Vancouver, I have Gardner McDougall. You have Pat Ferschweiler. You have the Philadelphia Flyers. You have Rick Tocchet. I have Pat Ferschweiler. Anaheim, you have Joe Quenneville. I have Joe Ward. Chicago, you have Mike Sullivan. I have Mike Sullivan. You have David Carl. Pittsburgh, you have John Tortorella. I don't know why. I have Todd Nelson.
Nobody else, I don't think nobody else wants that. They want a big name. They want a fucking big name because, like I said, they got two guys that are looking to retire. They want one last swing at the cup.
Rick Tocchet. I think Rick Tockett's gonna end up in Pittsburgh. I have a feeling he's gonna end up in Pittsburgh.
No, he wants
to win.
He played there too, but he's a Flyer.
All right, Boston Bruins. I have Dan Bylsma. You have Greg Cronin. Seattle. You have Mitch Love. I have Lane Lambert. Let's see if those are. We won't probably see any coaching hirings until probably midway through the playoffs.
Another few weeks.
We probably won't know until after the draft lottery. That's usually when people start to. But all right, Gil, that is all the time we have for episode 26. This episode will be up sometime tomorrow. Friday, when this is recording, it's Thursday. We will see you guys later. We have some hockey to watch. Go Senators. Go Sens, go. Caps on 3?
Go for it.
1, 2, 3. Let's go, Caps!
Go Caps!
Fuck Carolina.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely